Yesterday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre commented on the Biden-Netanyahu meeting. Here's what she said.
Would it be safe to say that the president now has a clear understanding of and a clear picture of what Israel's plans are for retaliating?
They continued their discussion on a response to Iran's attack. A discussion last week, a discussion that certainly started at the staff level, and that two leaders were able to have a productive, straightforward, honest conversation, as they tend to do. I don't have anything beyond that. What I will say very clearly about that particular question is we cannot and will not see Lebanon turn into Gaza, into another Gaza.
Joining me now is Fox News contributor, national security analyst, and drone expert Brett Velicovich. She's also former military intelligence and former Army Special Ops. Brett, thanks very much for being here. I assume you heard my conversation with Nate Foy on the ground. Do you find it odd that Israel has been hammered for over a year, and Joe Biden has only spoken to Bibi Netanyahu once in the last 7 weeks?
Well, it's just par for the course for this administration. I think, frankly, Netanyahu feels as though the U.S. really isn't committed to this fight. And this is true. Biden has looked the other way on Iran and Gaza for years. It's been a strategy of appeasement, and that doesn't work in this region. It feels like we're turning our backs on our friend right now, and they need us the most. And, you know, we spent a lot of time helping Israel, but you can really feel the frustration from Netanyahu that these closed-door conversations with the United States are just not going well. Israel wants Hamas destroyed once and for all. They want peace right now. Yeah. That didn't work. And they're going to fight until the last of the hostages are returned. And that's why there's these intense negotiations taking place behind the scenes. And many countries are really just focused on pushing Israel for a ceasefire. And they're putting pressure on Israel. So what good does that do Netanyahu?
Right. And of course, Israel has stopped sharing information with the United States because of this. I mean, the U.S. said they did not know, they did not expect the explosion of the devices and the pagers, which Israel was very successful in doing. President Biden keeps urging Israel not to strike Iran's nuclear sites, while former President Trump says Israel should, quote, hit the nuclear first, worry about the rest later. The Wall Street Journal out with an op-ed titled Biden Protects Iran's Nuclear Program, writing this is the thinking that has led to the collapse of U.S. deterrence on Mr. Biden's watch. Enemies rely on him to come to their defense by restraining allies from responding to aggression. Mr. Biden did not even wait to keep Iran guessing. The Biden administration is denying Iran's claim that it may receive $6 billion in frozen assets in Qatar. The Treasury Department announced after the October 7th attack that the funds would be frozen indefinitely after being freed from South Korean banks as part of a prisoner swap, Brett. But, you know, everyone's scratching their heads asking, why are you allowing $6 billion to be available to Iran after ignoring the sanctions and enabling Iran to generate billions of dollars in oil revenue, which they've used to back these terrorist proxies, Hamas and Hezbollah? Is that the way you see it?
That's exactly the way I see it. Israel also has wanted to strike Iran's nuclear site for years. I mean, this has been going on for a while. They have watched Iran increase its program, and they really haven't done so, mostly because we have the U.S. State Department telling Israel not to, and that there are these other methods for stopping Iran's program. However, those methods have failed. Iran has played our diplomats. They've accelerated this nuclear program in secret. We've given them millions of dollars from the Biden administration that provided them the runway to increase their program. And they're closer and closer to a nuclear weapon than ever before. And that's because really multiple administrations' policies have failed. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And I would quietly advise the Israelis to strike that program, set it back years. But, you know, what people don't understand is it is very difficult logistically to do this. You know, the folks I talk to, you know, understand it is very difficult to strike Iran's nuclear program with these fighter jets that are needed. So a lot of issues there need to be solved. But Iran is frankly, the regime is an evil that can't exist in our world today. They've been emboldened because they've just been left unchecked. And frankly, right now, Israel's doing the job that we should be doing.
Right. Jonathan Madison, jump in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, flashback to the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, where President Biden negotiated with the Taliban on certain terms. Remember that. Clearly, his position is still the same on foreign policy, weak and indecisive My question, Mr. Velicovich, is what kind of a message does this send to our allies? And what kind of a message, perhaps more importantly, does it send to our enemies? Under these circumstances and during this turbulent time, as Maria said, it's been about a year now since the Gaza attack. Last I read, almost 2,000 civilians of Israel have been killed. What kind of a message is this sending worldwide?
We look weak, frankly, especially with the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. Countries around the world see that and they understand that we just don't have the same strength as we used to, and especially with what we've been doing with Iran. They make billions from selling oil. We've paid them millions that they've reinvested in their nuclear program. It funds terrorism. And, it's very clear Iran has activated a lot of these proxy groups around the world with different technologies to try and inflict maximum casualties on our interests. And the world does look a lot different right now, a year after the anniversary of October 7th. We need to remember also that we still have hostages in captivity, American hostages. There are families that are affected. The Israeli community has been so extremely resilient during these difficult times, but we have American hostages. We're not really getting a lot of information from our own administration on that. And so you can imagine that those families are just, it must be agonizing for them not really figuring out, where the information is. But the Middle East has been completely reshaped. We have bombs exploding. Lebanon, Syria, Gaza, Yemen, Iraq, all taking fire. We've got to do something to reestablish deterrence. We've got to help Israel do what they need.
And in the middle of it, Kamala Harris said she's going to send $157 million to Lebanon. Brett Velicovich, thank you, sir.